So what does leadership have to do with financial independence or a financial independence conference? I'm Eric with Leadership Developed. This week we're going to talk about why you as the executive need to understand the importance of financial literacy, financial health, financial wellness of your employees. You see, 72% of all employees claim that they are financially stressed, not because they're not making enough money, but because they don't know how to live from day to day to make ends meet.
FinCon is an annual conference where the experts in financial independence and financial wealth building meet with media experts, whether it's social media or publications or network media. They combine together their efforts to be able to share their best practices, to be able to help each other spread the word of how everyone can achieve financial wealth. Whether they are a YouTuber, or they work on podcasts, or they find themselves writing books. These experts come together to be able to find the best practices that allows other people to be just as successful as they were.
And so I think that the number one stress for most people is finances, and we all think that we just need to make more money and that'll solve all our problems, but that's not the case.
I think it's super important for executives to be concerned about their employees' financial health, because if they're not creating some kind of plan for them moving forward, all they're doing is creating a prison, and nobody wants a prison.
A financially insecure employee can be a stressed employee. A stressed employee is an unproductive employee, right? They're dealing with all of their financial issues. They might have bill collectors calling. They might be stressed about how they're going to buy food or pay the rent.
So one thing that stands out to me is in my 20s, I knew nothing about money. I was financially illiterate, and the only thing I knew about money is to try to make more of it, right? So I was super focused on growing my income. And in my mind, if I made a six-figure income, then that was gonna solve all my problems. I could get out of debt, I could pay my bills, I could build wealth. That was my perception at the time. But what was really my problem was money management, right? So I ended up getting to the six figures and didn't solve any of my problems because I didn't know how to manage my money.
I mean, I think the big one would be for those who are behind, right, in their financial journey, especially in terms of being behind on retirement savings. And I'm thinking about somebody like in their 50s, right? And maybe there's a divorce there. Maybe there's a death in the family there. There's all sorts of reasons why that person might be behind. And that person might actually be making a nice salary. So they're paying today's bills just fine, but they're behind in their retirement savings.
You want your employees to be physically healthy, mentally healthy, and financially healthy.
So Personal Finance Club actually does financial literacy education. So we teach individuals about basic personal finance and investing.
We need to learn how to manage our money for the most part. And I think that it would be amazing for employers to invest in that for us. Many employers have wellness programs where they're teaching us about mindfulness and reduce stress and how to take better care of ourselves and work-life balance and all that kind of stuff, right? I think financial education for employees would make so much more of a difference than all of those other programs combined.
But also as a business owner and business leader, I instill that in my employees. And so it's really important that my team isn't living in poverty and isn't stressed about money. We make sure to have good benefits, like we do not only unlimited paid time off, but we do minimum required paid time off. So everyone has to take a week of vacation every quarter. Plus, if they need to, obviously go to doctor's appointments or anything like that, that's fine. We have a 401k. We talk about money, and then we have employees who, instead of being stressed and worried, are working. They're better. They're living better lives. They're happier. They're more productive. And I think it's like both good for the world and it's good for business.
In today's competitive marketplace, it's so important that employers offer employees financial wellness programs and retirement savings opportunities. These days, 401k programs can be established with relatively modest fees that can be both beneficial to the employee because they can build up tax advantage retirement savings, and to the employer because they can offer for a reasonable cost a great benefit to attract and retain employee talent at the employer.
I think it's important for not only for companies and executives to be providing livable wages and thriving wages, but also the education to back people up so that they can understand what they need to be doing with that money in order to help move them forward.
So I think it's really important for employers to invest in their employees' financial literacy, because then we're not going to be hitting you up for a raise all the time if we understand that we can actually live below our means and we can make the money that we're already making work harder for us.
So as an executive leadership team or as an employer, how can you do that? This can come in the form of financial education a lot of times. So teaching employees about the benefits that you offer, the 401k plan or other retirement plan you offer, matching, bringing in somebody who can teach them about how to budget their money, how to make sure their money lasts so that they're not literally living paycheck to paycheck, how to save for retirement, how to maybe pursue an earlier retirement. Now, that can be a little tough for companies because they don't want to lose a good employee to early retirement, but losing a good employee to non-productive time or other types of stress is much more costly for the business. So these are the things that a company can do to help promote employee wellness.
So both as a business owner and as a financial educator, that's something that we do a lot of.
Look, we all want to make better financial decisions, and the one thing you can't buy is time, right? But at the same time, you can catch up, right? There are things you can do, right? All hope is not lost if you're 50 and you barely have any retirement savings, or if you're 60, look, the sooner you start, the better the outcome is likely to be, but there's plenty of things that can be done to accelerate that journey. And one of the best ways to catch up is through a 401k plan, right? Because you get a tax deduction on the way in, right? So you're building up tax advantage wealth. And two, there are these things called catch-up contributions, where you can add $6,500 a year in addition to the regular contribution limit. And I'm finding that is just a great way to catch up on one's retirement savings if they're behind in their retirement savings.
So yes, it is your responsibility as a leader to be responsible for showing your people that you care, that they can trust you, and that you're committed to excellence by helping them overcome their financial stresses. I'm Eric with Leadership Developed. Hey, if you like this video, do us a favor. Hey, give us a thumbs up. Also, hit subscribe. Help us spread our message to other growing leaders, people that are going to be the future that helps create this society. If you missed last week's video, hey, do us a favor. Check it out. It's right over here. Otherwise, we will talk to you again next week.